Yeah, hi everyone, and a very belated Happy New Year, I guess. It's our first L&D Executive Round Table of 2024, so thanks everyone for joining. Um, and today, the focus is going to be on how we can elevate the impact of our training, and we'll hear about some key elements that we can use to build a successful training structure for that. We'll have Markus on today as a guest speaker. I'll introduce him in a bit more detail as well. But maybe just for everyone who's new here and joining us for the first time, just to give a quick overview. So we host these L&D Executive Roundtables, regular peer networking events for the community, for the L&D space. Naturally, it's most interesting for high-level learning and professional development, learning and development professionals. That's the right way. Professionals and as well as trainers and coaches, of course, service providers from the space. And depending on the topic, we also have some C-level executives here on here sometimes. And the reason we host these events is really because we want to provide like a peer networking platform for the L&D space, really, where people can connect with other people from the industry and ask questions and exchange ideas and experience and best practices. And the way we structure these events, and that's what you can expect from today as well, of course. So we always build the events around specific focus topic that's interesting for the L&D space, and have a keynote speech for that from an external speaker, which is Markus today. And after the presentation, the keynote speech, we really want to open the whole event up so everyone gets the chance to introduce themselves and ask questions and share their experience as well and just connect. So feel free also with each other to use the chat function if you want to connect with each other as well. And at this point, I'll quickly hand over to Christian. So Christian is the founder of Blue Elephant Solutions, and he's just going to give a brief overview of who your today's hosts basically is. Over to you, Chris.
Thanks, Max. Yeah, just really 1 or 2 minutes to introduce ourselves. We do have a passion for learning and development and knowledge management that comes from our own past, where we were in big organizations in charge for learning and development. And from that, we then ventured out, built our own company and many solutions by now to support our customers, to support their employees better in the ventures of learning and development. We have a few standard tools in our repertoire. One is our working horse, I would call it, the Knowledge Gym, which is the leading tool for spaced learning in the market. It is also gamified. There's AI content generation in there. And we're currently working with a few very interesting customers on some very interesting expansions of this tool, so that it's not only a learning and spaced repetition tool, but really becomes almost a real full-blown learning management system, including setting organizational goals in your company, breaking them down into competencies that are needed, breaking the competencies down in individual job competency roadmaps, and then measuring at the end also the impact of those trainings that you assign to those competencies in your organization. We also have the AI coach in the market, which is where you can, as a company, create virtual communication situations. That could be a communication with a customer, for example, during a sales pitch. It could be a service a situation. It could be a difficult conversation that an employee might have or a manager might have with his employee. And this tool really enables you to practice those situations and get more confidence in them and apply the rules and the methodologies that you learned in your organization. And we also have the AI assistant, which is just in the market since, what is it, like maybe months now. We have over 200 companies already signed up as customers, and they are using it. You can upload company individual. Deepti, I'm gonna mute you if that's okay. So we have the AI assistant with over 200 companies using it already, where companies can upload their own knowledge base. You can upload your own company's specific documents and then use a chatbot to interact with this knowledge. And you can assign it to your employees, and the employees can communicate with those documents and this company internal information. And we also do a lot of custom developments for customers around the world. Yeah, and all in the space of learning, spaced repetition, AI enablement, gamification. This is where really our heart is. And that's why we always try to give something back to the community with these calls. And I'm also now very, very interested what Markus will share with us, because I know him a little bit and I know he's a real expert in his field. So if you listen to his talk, I'm very, very sure you will take away a few very important key information. So Max, back to you.
Thank you, Christian. Yeah, then the perfect segue, basically. So I'm happy to introduce today's speaker in a bit more detail. So we're joined today by Markus on his birthday. Thank you again, Markus, for taking the time. Yeah, to give a bit of an introduction, so Markus has around 18 years of experience in project management, and he's the head of the department, actually the product management department for Siemens Healthineers, and a department that he's helped set up and build up, and yeah, going through digitalization initiatives and making it more scalable. And of course, also help to set up a team and yeah, motivate a team, build the team culture really. So great experience there as well when it comes to strategies and team building initiatives. And at the same time, Markus is also a certified business coach, certified by one of the leading business coaching agencies or companies, Action Coach. So he brings a lot of knowledge from that aspect as well, from a coaching perspective, and also from applying things himself by building up a department and leading it. At the same time, also now with the introduction of AI into the mainstream, yeah, very passionate about the potential that offers in the business context as well. And yeah, again, thank you very much, Markus, for joining. I would at this point then hand over to you. Stop sharing my screen. You can start sharing yours. And then whenever you're ready, yeah, yes. Take it away.
Yes, I will share my screen. So when you can see the screen, please let me know.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So first of all, I appreciate because I'm here with you. This is so great. When I have a chance to work with the peers around the world who have the like mind, who also focus on the people. And therefore, I'm thank you everyone to taking the time. And the topic that I want to present today is about 9 elements that I think this is the foundation for the training and development. And in the other aspect, this is the foundation in order to help people unlock their full potential. And this is actually the concept that I learned, I practiced from the Action Coach, and also apply it in daily for my team in Siemens Healthineers. And I use this methodology for already 3 years. I help my team to really work and live. I mean that we work and we live in our business. I help the small business owners in Vietnam. We are developing countries, many things that we don't know, and basically we want to have a kind of roadmap in order to help us to success. So this is why I bring this one as older passion for my work. Okay. So let me quickly go. Today, I will talk about three things. First, I will go to talk about the root cause. Why we still do not very successful, or why don't we get what we really want to achieve in the learning and development. And then I will introduce about the practice, how we fix it. And then I also discuss about how to sustain. So that's in three steps. We know why, how fix, and how to sustain. And the first question is about why we do not achieve in the learning and development goal, why we still cannot get it. And here I want to introduce us for a small discussion before we can move on. I already prepared the question here, but let's discuss together. So from your opinion, what is the obstacle that we still cannot achieve the goals in the learning and development? Anyone want to say?
Lack of commitment.
Lack of commitment. So that's number one. Anything else?
Lack of strategy.
We do not have a clear plan, a strategy to move forward. Very good. Thank you. Anything else?
Anyone else?
Yes. I have the answer from my opinion, but I want to hide it a little bit.
We also have a message from Deep D in the chat here, which is lack of business support and agreement.
Yeah.
Lack of support is also what Tivika says.
Yeah.
Lack of time.
Lack of what?
Time.
Time. We will talk about time. We will talk about time. So let's review how well I prepare. So for my opinion, there are one element that the people don't want to learn. So very obvious that in the big organization, some people don't want to learn. And that is still the surface. And the reason why I put this as the iceberg on this screen, because the more I'm working on this one, I see the root cause always below the iceberg. And I ask the next question, why people don't want to learn? It's very obvious for me. Learn is better. The more we learn, the more we earn. And I go down. So basically, some people do not understand why they need to learn. So that's the fact that if we're working in a very big corporation, some people don't understand why company always push the new courses to me and why I need to take the course. Basically, I'm busy to do the work. Why I need to learn? And for the small companies, basically, they also don't understand why I need to learn. If I learn, do I have a better salaries? And the next thing is, we do not have a system in place. And you already mentioned about the strategy, about the business support. We do not have that. Meaning that we do not have the learning material, we do not have the convenient tools and process, and we do not have the checking system. And that is how we break it down into the system. And then the next thing is people do not remember. So for example, if I learn it, and if I do not have a chance to practice what I learned, I will forget information. Like after 1 week, I can forget. I go for the training and then I forget. I go to the training and then I forget. I go to the motivation training, I go to the skill training and then I forget. And therefore, I also see that this is the barriers for me to achieve the learning and development goals. So I will and ask the next question. The meaning, what is the meaning? So for me, the meaning of the learning and development is not to ask people to learn. It's actually more than that. Because growing equal happiness. And I learned this one from a very good book. Let's see, From Good to Great. And somehow, if people understand the meaning of the learning, they see the growing, and then they become the habit, and the habit will keep them moving, and therefore they are growing, and growing equal happiness. And for me now, I can go to one of my motivation is growing and happiness. So this is the next thing I want to have a mindset about the learning, the reason of the learning or the meaning. Then I go to the how I fix it. So I already start with why we fail, and what is the real meaning, and now I fix it. So from the business system, this is a kind of checklist that I go for every small companies that I coach, or even though for the corporate. So for the corporate, we always have a very big structure. So the next question is, if we have the same scalable structure for the country or for the organization, and what I find out is 70% when I'm looking for this business system, I'm missing here and there. Even though this is a big corporation, we still have the missing point. And my experience, if we can have the first column, the business system, the vision, the mission, the culture, the goals, the organization chart, the job description, the KPI, the work manual, and the audit system in place, automatically I create the demand for the learning. And it comes to my very good selling technique. So do you see the film of Leonardo DiCaprio from Hollywood when he played a guru from the stock market? I still remember the way he teach me. Sell me this pen. And then he go for the first people. Sell me this pen. And he say, this is a nice pen. You see, we have a very beautiful color. Sell me this plan, the second one. You know, this one can help you when you... So the last one will give the correct answer. Sell me this pen, this pen. And then he give the paper. If you let me know your name, I will give you $100. And that's in the demand. So basically, from my very practical mindset, I want to create the demand for the learning development before I start to ask people learning. And this is my transformation in my career. When I finish the vision, so the company have the vision, and then I ask my department, what is our vision? What is our future? And the people, when the people looking into one direction, we align. Now the next question, why we want to achieve the goal? Why we achieve the vision? I create the motivation of our career journey together. It's not my career. It's the whole organization career. Even though this is department or it is small companies, we have the mission, we have the reason why we go this way. And now I have the heart of the people and about the culture. Now I set the culture. If we want to go for this way, if we want to, the reason why we go on this journey, we need to have a rules, the culture. And one of the culture is the learning habit, the growth mindset. So we set it at the culture as the behavior. We need to have a growth mindset. And here, if the people not in the right culture, they will leave, and we invite the new people. And that's in the game. We need to find the people going on the bus with us on the career. And then we break down into the business goal. We have a very structured business goal. And then we set the organization chart. Now you see the difference. We have the organization chart for now, and we set the organization chart for the next 3 years. And then we set the organization chart for the next 5 years. And the reason why we do this, because we see the vision there, the mission there, and the organization chart saying that this is the resource we need for the step. And now people seeing the potential. They seeing their roadmap in the next 3 and 5 years. And that's very, very basic. I don't talk any fancy. I talk in a chart. I say this is the chart for the 5 years. I say this is the chart for the 10 years. So now I have a job description. So for sure, I have a job description to make sure people understand what they are doing in their business. And in my job description, I give a very clear demand. This is what I expect you to do. And this is the KPIs, how we measure that if we are successful. And now people start to have the demand. They see the gap between what they are and what is the demand. And that's a very business thing. I'm not talking about motivation. I'm talking about the practical and the logic thinking here. People seeing the expectation from them on this current position and the work manual. The reason why I put the work manual here is because that's a very clear work instruction people to follow. And then the audit. I make the audit to make sure that everything in place to create and I find the blind spot in the operation. So when I have the business system like this, automatically I have the people want to learn. That's in the natural process from the foundation to the demand. And then I don't need to sell the pen because I sell the demand for people to buy the pen. And that's the very different. And that's the foundation for me. So we already have the business system in place. I go to the next thing is the training goals. Because I need to explain the business goal and the training goals. I need to find the connection between two areas to explain to people very clearly. This is the goal and why we need to have this goal. And then I have the competency dictionary. The competency dictionary, I do not take it from the ChatGPT. Basically now people can go for the ChatGPT and drag out, give me your competency dictionary. I don't do that. I do it for my organization chart. I do it for my work manual. And this is the input for me to break it down for the competency dictionary. I even working from the customer touch point. And in one customer touch points, I make the clarification. If I'm doing good in this touch point with my customer, what is the skill that I need? And then we break it down into the competency dictionary. And from the competency dictionary, I make a very clear description about the requirement. This is the competency list for individual position. And then automatically I have the individual career roadmap. Because when I have the list very clear, I go one by one with the people, and then I ask the question, what's in the gap? We have the skill gap. And the skill gap will automatically request to have a training plan. And after I have the training plan, I go to find the content for my training plan. And then I have the checking because I want to make sure the plan and the actual happens. And then I also want to make sure the training goals and the business goal happens. And that's in the training checking system that I want to in place. And all of this one, we need to have the management system because I believe that there's always two things happen. We need to pull and we need to push. We have to combine. The pull things is people know the direction. People have the motivation to go for that one. And the push thing is the very practical daily. And therefore we need a strong leaders. And then I will need to break it down in this organization. What is the criteria for us to confirm this is a strong leaders? And that's maybe another topic to talk about a strong leader. But the first thing is I need the strong leaders. The common goals are already there because that's to support the business vision, the business goal, and the mission of the companies, and the house rule. The house rule is all the rule that we want the team to accept. Otherwise, we do not have the alignment. The action plan, interval check, the risk support, 100% involvement, and the learning habits. And this is the management system. And this is the job description that I put on the department head, on the leaders of one organization. And this is your job to do every day. And this is the system that you run. And for me, if I can combine the business system, the learning and development system, and the management system, I create the demand for the learning. And therefore, I can sell the pen. So this is the core concept of the foundation that I want to explain today. And the next thing is, okay, great, but I don't have time. You and I, we have multitask. After the meeting, we come there and we pick up our children, we cook for our children, we teach our children. We have multiple responsibility in the world. It's not only about career, it's also about life, it's also about friendship. So basically, I come to the situation. Everything you do is great, but I have no time to learn. Do you agree? And then I come to the solution, because we always need to have a solution. So my solution is the system. This is I'm very passionate about the action coach. Action coach, they do things simple enough to build things become the system. And the meaning of the system is to saving ourselves time, energy, and money. And this is why we need to create the system. Just imagine that if we don't have a system, what happens? Chaos, overlap, waste. If we have a system, we save all of that time, energy, and money. And today, with the AI technology, we bring everything fair. Before, without technology, the big corporation always have the good system, and therefore they always win. And today, the small companies can access to the great technology with the AI technology. I firmly confirm, because I'm actually I'm coaching the small companies using the AI in order to build a system. So now, if I'm talking about the system, I will discuss the people and the training should be the system. I want to have the recruitment system. And the recruitment system is very much to find the right people proactively, because very difficult for me to find the bad people and make them become the good people. And it's very effective for me to find the good people and make them become the great people. And this is where I aim for. I don't want to turn the bad people become the good people. I want to turn the good people become the great people. And therefore, I need a recruitment system to proactively manage the people recruitment for me. And the learning and information system, of course, that's what I need to have. And then the allowance system. Now I want to work it fair. I have the business goal and I have the training goal. So how can I manage and I convince the small company's owner to share the budget for the training? So it's not about they have the budget to run and to train. Now I'm asking the next question: how to have the budget to compensate and to give the people reward when they learn, to create a learning habit. And I will explain to them how I convince them later. The system is the 9 foundations that I explained to you before in the column on the left. And the technology, the AI, and the automation. I believe that we need to let the system do all the work, and then we reserve the most valuable work for the human. And for me, the most valuable work is the human touch. And all the things we can automation. Robotic processing automation. Power automate. AI technology like ChatGPT can help us improve the productivity. And when we can do all that, we have time for people to learn. And I learned from the Google, they spare 20% of the time of the staff so that the staff can do whatever they want, not in the scope of work. And that's the great formula. We let people go outside of their comfort zone. And that's we create the creative for the company. And of course, we need to measure, we need to set the KPIs and the key AIs. So basically, do we know the KPIs? The KPI, I think 100%. Anyone want to ask about the key AI? So the KPIs is the result of the work. And the key AIs, it is the result of the task in daily. And in a very good system, we measure the key AI in order to predict the KPI. And the reason is this is the leading and this is the lagging. So when we have the system, the right system, we measure what creates the result. We don't only measure the result. And this is the difference of the system that I want to achieve. And now I want to go a very solid mindset. The leader, the role is to take care of the team. The team will take care of the customer. And the customer will take care of the business. And the business with the profit will come back and take care of the leaders. And therefore, the leader role is to be the strong leader and to take care of the team. And how to take care of the team? We create the environment, we create a mission, and we also create the training activity, the learning opportunity for the team to grow. The better the team, the better for the business. And some people will talk about the balance scorecard. I mean, everything will come back the same mindset like this. And for me, that's either happy inside out. And this is the only way for us to have a sustainable growth. Without the happy inside out, our performance is like this. But if we have a strong team, our performance is like this. And that's very different between this one and this one. So I see all my experience working in the big corporation, making as the business coach to help the companies grow in my career. So I'm very glad that I can have the questions. Please give me the question.
First of all, thank you very much, Markus, for this insight. We actually did have a question just now, so it's perfect timing. Could you maybe explain again what the KAI stands for and what it is? That would be.
So that's the key activity index. So for example, if my KPIs is the, for example, if I'm talking about the customer service, and the KPIs is the NPS, Net Promotion Score, in which I measure, if I ask 100 people, how many percent they will introduce my business to the other people. That is the meaning of the NPS. And my KAI is how many times I call to take care of the customer. So that's the difference from one process. You should to have the KPIs as the result, and then you also have the KAI as the daily measurements of how the team doing.
Thank you.
And that's a very detailed ones. And if we build this system, we are work on the business. We are not only work in the business. That is different.
Thank you, Markus. Any other questions for now? I mean, obviously everyone will still have the chance to ask questions again later, but maybe any immediate questions to Markus?
The reason why I put on the gamma because I want to share the link so that everyone can review it later. That's the only way.
Sure. Great. Right. Thank you very much then. I will, if there's no immediate questions right now, I'll probably share my screen again.
Yes.
And then we can also open this up for everyone to join in.
Thank you everyone for letting me to speak. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you as well, Markus. Thank you very much. Back to this one. Okay. Fantastic. So yeah, thank you very much, Markus, for sharing all that and giving us insight and sharing your knowledge and tips with us there. So what we want to do now is we want to open up the event for everyone to give a platform for exchange. So really see it as like a peer networking opportunity for everyone here to maybe give a quick introduction about yourselves, ask any questions, share any experience that you have in this field, any best practices really. And of course, feel free to use the chat function as well if you want to keep in touch with each other, share a LinkedIn profile, things like that. Please feel free to do that as well. Maybe the, I guess, most efficient part to do this, if I just go through the attendees list here quickly, just in alphabetical order. Okay, and what happens to be Joe who joins us from one admin today, starting with the B. Yeah, maybe if you would like to give a quick introduction or yourself, and of course, I mean, you just ask a question, but if you have any other questions or any advice you want to share as well, very welcome to do so.
Yeah, okay. My name is Jo Higgins-Chetzer. I'm the owner of Beaumont Training and Consultancy Limited. Beaumont admin is just the admin that I use on Zooms. We're not an admin company. We are a training company specialising in resilience. So, yeah, we're based in Nottingham in the UK. Can't see what that one is at the bottom. What is it? Can't see what that one is. Experience, set the company up in 2008, picked a good year for that, still here. Leading expert on resilience, tips and tricks. I was really interested in, you know, that quote that you gave from the book, From Good to Great, about happiness is what makes you, happiness is growth. I think a lot of people don't realise it. I also like that system one that you put up. For me, it is all about commitment from the top. Because some of what you're saying is true. People do want to learn. People don't want to learn. But you know, I have experience of a big company where there were people who were desperate to get on my resilience courses, my leadership courses, but they could just not be freed up from their desk to come and do it. They were simply too busy. And it wasn't them. It was actually the system that was penning them in to be unable to attend. And then on the other hand, you get people who would book onto the training and then not turn up because there was no penalty if they didn't turn up. But I'm really, really interested, as Max and Christian both know, we're looking into putting the resilience training onto the Knowledge Gym. If anybody would like to work with me on that, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll hand on to the next person. Thank you.
Thank you, Jo. I now have Deepti here. Hi, Deepti. Welcome. And yeah, please feel free to also give a quick intro.
Thank you so much, Max, and good afternoon, everyone. I hope I am audible.
Yes.
Just a quick confirmation. Thank you so very much. As you already know, my name is Deepti Verma. I have connected from India, more specifically the capital region of India, which is Delhi. I'm working for an engineering company with the name of Kellogg Brown and Root. This is the top 3 oil and gas engineering company in the world. I am right now working as the learning development head for all India KBR offices, which is kind of comprising of close to 2,300 employees situated in 5 different offices across India. Having a close to 2 decades of HR business partnering experience, wherein the learning and development was one forte of mine for almost 19 years. And last 1 year, I have been put into this new role where I'm only concentrating about the talent development for our company at India. Of course, like everyone, I'm also postgraduate in people's management, have done a couple of more postgraduate program, which is kind of aligning my current role. So position is done, company is done, location is done. Yeah, experience is also done. Tip and tricks, I would say I'm a little new in this forte, only around 8-10 months. I have been experiencing myself in talent development. But one thing I can say that is purely from my industry aspect, and I somewhere feel this tip may be suitable for everyone, which is like one shirt cannot fit everyone, and the same goes for the learning and development as well. So in company like ours, wherein we are hiring a lot of fresh engineers, and then we really want to concentrate on early career personals too, for the simple reason we are a growing industry, oil and gas particularly, and even after COVID, after pandemic, there are so many projects, and the expansion is really huge. So at every sake, the middle and the early career professional are somebody who are really a challenge to attract as well as retain, and this is where we feel a very good detailed program is must for them, which should be followed by some program for first-time manager, and of course the leaders are always there. So for me, what I am targeting and prioritizing and strategizing for myself as well as for my organization in India is trying to figure out kind of baskets for each kind of professionals, so that we are trying to cover up in the best possible way, because the ways, the means, the needs also changes with their experience and with the kind of profile they are handling, and somebody who is delivering it individually and somebody who is a people's person. So we are trying to kind of strategizing ourselves in the best possible way to keep a mark for everyone. Yeah, that was a little about my introduction, though I was not prepared for this intro, but I hope I have done well.
No, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, thank you very much for sharing that.
Can I ask, out of curiosity, Dipti, do you also have already like this, what Markus was talking about earlier, where you have really a framework of those are the KPI, this is what we want to achieve in the organization, and this is the skills that we need for this, and this is how it breaks down into trainings? How are you managing that?
Christian, I would say, luckily we have all that in place, because we are more than 100-year-old company, and we've got a very well established organization as well as system. System was something which was really a big key takeaway for me from today's session, and I really like that, saving yourself time, energy, and money. So luckily we have all that in place. It was just that this responsibility from corporate learning development actually moved to the to kind of more of a regional talent development head. So having said that, it's the person change, but if we talk about system, they're very well in place. As I said, we are more than 100-year-old companies now, so we are very well placed, and it's like from a normal train, we are moving to a better version of it. That's it.
Thank you very much, Deepti, for sharing that.
Thank you.
So a few people, I think left two names on the list here. So Praveen actually reached out to me quickly before the event, so I know he's actually driving and listening in while he's driving. So we might skip him for now to not distract him from the road too much.
I can talk, Max.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Yes. I
Awesome.
just unmuted myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Praveen. I work for a company called Richmond Fellowship Queensland, and we specialize in mental health support services. My role in this organization is as a manager for the Learning and Development Department, and I'm currently based in Brisbane. Current project. So I've been working on a few different projects. One of them is, I call it collective flourishing. So we talk about adult learning principles, we talk about the needs, and Markus spoke about how do I sell a pen. So in my version, going beyond that, what does that mean for me? What does flourishing mean to me? That's something what we are exploring as an organization, and I'm currently leading that project. My experience in the field with Richmond Fellowship, I think I'm marking about 1.5 years now, but I do have training experience, facilitating training experience for over 4.5 to 5 years now. Tips and tricks. The only thing I can think of is building curiosity and knowing the why. And we assess something called importance versus the challenge, acceptance, and competence. So a person gains a lot of knowledge and learnings if it is important, and also if he or she is able to accept the challenge. and how much they need and want the change in their life. So that's a bit about me, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Praveen. Thanks for sharing. And I still have Tuika now. So yeah, Tuika, please feel free to join in as well. Okay, just got a message from her. Sorry, let me quickly just summarize. I can only type at the moment, no problem at all. Okay, so Tuika or TB works as a L&D system manager for a 5-star resort in Bali, and yeah, focuses on training related to the to the rooms division there. Right. No problem. Thank you, Tuika, still for joining and listening in and sharing this as well.
Tuika, I really would like to have a business meeting with you. I'm very happy to come to your hotel and discuss. Yeah, I'm currently based in Germany, and it's so cold here and so freezing. It's really not nice. So you for sure have the better location.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I have to ensure the guest comment or feedback is in line with the hotel goals. Yeah, that's actually interesting. We have in the beginning when we started. When we started the company, we were also focusing mainly on employees that work in the office and, you know, like the marketing managers and those kind of departments. But it turned actually out that many of our clients are also clients that have blue collar workers. So some of our customers are, for example, the service organizations of hospitals, which is pretty much like a service organization in a hotel. In a hospital, you also have a kitchen, you have logistics, you have the gardeners, and they actually started to use our learning solution because it's a mobile solution. You don't need to have a computer where you run the trainings. It's micro learning based, so you can do this training while you're having a short break, or on the way to work. If you're sitting in the bus, you can do a few micro learnings, and every employee normally has a mobile phone, so they actually can deliver the trainings that they did in the past as in-person trainings. They can now really give it out to the employees and say, you do it whenever you want. They save a lot of time, they save a lot of cost. So it's actually, because in the beginning, I really thought that's something for people sitting in the office, but it turns out there's a really big benefit also for organizations that have a mobile workforce and maybe no computers. Yeah. And Markus, also maybe to comment from my side on what you said earlier, I think it's so important, and it really opens my eyes when you say this. We need to have this overall understanding. Why are we doing those things? Not only this is your training and you have to do it, and how many points did you get, but why? Why is it important? Why is it important for me? Why is it important for the organization? And really giving it this bigger context. And it's very important to focus on those points. People often focus on, how can I deliver a 3D virtual environment training experience? But if the why is not correct, the best training environment doesn't help. So really, thank you for sharing those insights.
Agree from my side as well. I mean, so most of my learning development career in that sense was more from the receiving end of it before I made the transition into this, and I've witnessed so many different environments when it comes to training and the support that you would get or not get potentially in some of those, and I think the overarching thing is really to understand why you do it, because it gives you the motivation from a learner's perspective also to not just go through training and just check the box in the end. So you can tell your boss that you did it, but also to understand what's the benefit for obviously the company, but also for yourself, you know, to do it. So I think that's massively important, and yeah, came across quite well from Markus as well. Right. Do we have any more questions maybe at this point? Anything else anyone would like to ask or tell or anything?
No, just I put my LinkedIn profile in the chat if anyone wants to connect and discuss things like the link between growth mindset and resilience, mental toughness. If anyone wants to connect, the details are there.
Yeah, well, fantastic. Thank you. And again, feel free for everyone else if you want to share, connect with each other. Of course, that's part of yeah, what the purpose of this is really, to have you guys get new connections as well, and yeah, meet like-minded people.
And Max, maybe one final comment. I think we can also make the presentation and the content of the presentation available to the participants. So either inside of actually our tools or as a presentation itself. So I think both would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Then I think we will probably wrap it up here. So thanks everyone very much for joining. And yeah, great to see some new faces on here as well. Thank you again, Markus, for taking the time today, especially on your birthday. Thank you very much, and happy birthday again from us. And yeah, I hope all of you continue to have a good start, hopefully into 2024. Again, keep in touch, and maybe we can see you at one of the next events as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.